Your child may need to be drinking more water than you think when they're outside playing sports in this heat. For instance, a child under the age of 12 needs to be drinking up to 8 ounces of water per 20 minutes of activity. For teens, that increases to 1 liter of water per hour of activity. But only a third of that liquid should be sports drink.
Packers profits took another Lambeau leap this past fiscal year.
The numbers jumping another 26%. And the future, the team says, looks bright as well.
I'm excited for our fans to see it and experience it.
A recap of the team's 2013 financial report and a look ahead to the next year tops tonight's Fox 11 News at 5. Good evening, everyone. The green and gold is well in the black for this past year.
And the team says it looks forward to added revenue this year. Fox 11's Kelly Schlicht live in the Lambeau Field atrium this evening. And Kelly, it's clear to see looking at the stadium where that new revenue is going to come from.
Yes, Tom. Packers president Mark Murphy says the new renovation projects to the south end zone and to this atrium will continue to bring in profits for years to come, building on the financial successes of the past. At a time when the Packers are expanding seating at Lambeau Field and its investment reach in the community, the team also increased its financial security.
We've focused, really I'd say the last 2 or 3 years on the fan experience.
In 2012, operation profits, or the earnings before taxes, were $43 million. In fiscal year 2013, that jumped to $54.3 million. However, overall net income had a more modest increase, from $42.7 million to $43.1. Packers president Mark Murphy says the team spent less on player expenses because fewer large contract deals went through last year.
It's really kind of a timing issue and a cyclical. Player costs this year were about $19 million less than they were the previous year.
Murphy says player contract costs will increase for this current fiscal year because of deals with players like Aaron Rodgers and Clay Matthews. But fewer people took tours of Lambeau last year, and fewer fans bought merchandise in the pro shop, which led to a 2.2% dip in local revenue.
It was coming off, a couple really big years, with the Super Bowl followed up by 15-1 regular season. We were really at all-time highs.
Murphy expects revenue to increase this year with the new south end zone seating. He says that should bring in an additional $12 million. The Cabela's store, which opens next week, is also expected to increase revenues. The Packers own the land and much of the land in between the store and Lambeau Field. Murphy says more development may be on its way.
We're studying that, and you want to make sure we get it right.
Packers say national revenue increased last year because of large sponsorship deals like the one they had with Nike. However, the large television deals for national scale won't take effect until this fiscal year. Live at Lambeau Field, Kelly Schlicht, Fox 11 News.
You need notebooks and folders, and you need lots of pencils and crayons.
Brenda Saleh says she's pricing supplies at Shopko in Seymour before she buys for her third grader and kindergartner.
You can go shopping back in the days for $100 to get everything plus your clothes, and nowadays you're trying to keep it under $500.
We added up her third grader supply list sent out by Rockledge Intermediate. It topped out at nearly $103, including gym shoes and a backpack. Also on that list, 60 pencils and 4 packs of Expo dry erase markers. Those 2 items alone cost nearly $33. One parent from Seymour emailed us asking what a third grader needs with 60 pencils or 4 packs of dry erase markers. But that's not the only elementary school asking for extra supplies this year. For instance, there's a kindergarten class in Pulaski that wants 15 glue sticks. We spoke with the Seymour School's superintendent. He didn't want to go on camera, but explained more items provided by families can keep school registration fees lower. We caught up with this team of kindergarten teachers from Wisconsin Rapids, buying supplies for their classrooms. They say the seemingly extra items are necessary, as many classrooms aren't stocked with supplies through school budgets anymore. Do kids go through that much glue?
We do sometimes, and depending upon the brand of glue sticks too, we've noticed some brands are better and last longer.
Parents say they don't understand why schools require certain brands, like Expo or Crayola.
They should just accept what we get.
Teachers say they're not trying to discriminate against families who can't afford those brands.
The brand names seem to last longer for a lot of the things. Glue sticks, crayons, markers, and same thing. We've noticed they dry out faster, the cheaper kinds.
Teachers say brand names could save parents money in the long run. But parents and teachers both agree stocking up now while many stores have markdowns will help families stay within their back-to-school budgets. Kelly Schlicht, Fox 11 News.
Fox 11's Kelly Schlicht was in Milwaukee and has our balanced coverage.
For the first time since 1998, the nation's governors came here to Milwaukee to meet for their summer meeting. And while Governor Walker spent some time showing off Milwaukee to the other governors, they quickly got down to business.
The next couple days, when it comes to state government, the focal point of the country will be here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Governor Walker gave his opening remarks as host of this year's convention, flanked by both Republicans and Democrats. On the agenda Friday, health care. Wisconsin did not take federal funds for a Medicaid expansion as part of the Affordable Care Act. Governor Walker has also decided not to create a statewide insurance exchange. Instead, uninsured Wisconsin residents will have to buy through a national exchange. The governor said he stands by that choice.
Going forward, as of the budget I signed June 30th, everyone living in poverty will be covered under Medicaid. Those living above it will be transitioned into the marketplace.
Colorado's Democratic Governor John Hickenlooper has been critical of Governor Walker's policies on several topics, including health care. Colorado is opening up a state-run exchange.
We have a lot of energy in that exchange, and I think we're going to open on time.
Despite their differences, Hickenlooper stopped short of criticizing his host.
All right, there are many ways to skin a cat, so that's a cliche that's been used for a million years to say there are usually 3 or 4 right ways to do something.
These governors say they're waiting to see what will happen on a federal level with exchanges before the January 1st universal health care deadline. This evening after the sessions wrap, the governors will have a little bit of fun going down to the Harley-Davidson Museum and even taking a ride on a hog or two. But tomorrow morning, they will be back at their sessions discussing about infrastructure and security. In Milwaukee, Kelly Schlicht, Fox 11 News.
Live in HD, balanced news and severe weather coverage. This is Fox 11 News. Good Day, Wisconsin.
It's pretty scary. We thought this was a fairly safe neighborhood, and I hope it still is, but it's pretty scary.
A home invasion shakes up a Bellevue neighborhood, and officials are still searching for the suspects.
A family of a boy shocked by a power line is grateful he's okay.
Good morning, I'm Kelly Schlicht.
And I'm Doug Higgins, waking up to a gorgeous morning out there, but beware, it's going to get hot today.
Indeed, it was such beautiful sunshine today, Doug, but we are in for a warm week, I hear.
Yeah, it's only going to get hotter from here, folks. So let's check out our forecast. 81 degrees at noon, partly cloudy. Could see a shower or two near the Wisconsin UP border. After that, 85 and mostly sunny by 4 o'clock, 79 by 7.
New this morning, all lanes of Cardinal Lane in Howard are now back open after a crash that seriously injured 2 people. It happened around 2:30 this morning at the corner of Cardinal Lane and Riverview Drive in Howard. Officials say a vehicle tried to make a turn, then lost control and crashed into the YMCA parking lot. A 34-year-old Howard man who was driving was ejected from the vehicle. The 24-year-old passenger, an Oconto Falls woman, was also injured in the crash. They both have life-threatening injuries. Alcohol and speed appear to be factors. 3 suspects are on the loose after injuring a Bellevue couple during a home invasion. It happened late Thursday night in the 2400 block of Van Lake Court. Brown County Sheriff's officials say the retired couple in their 60s is quite shaken up over the incident. It all started when the couple heard a knock at the door. A man wanted to talk about a tree hanging over the lot line. When the homeowner turned around, he was overpowered from behind. The husband and wife were restrained as the suspects searched the house for valuables. After it was over, the woman was able to get herself free and get help.
It was bleeding because she was holding the top of her head yet beside, so blood was on her neck, her hands, and face.
The couple was taken to the hospital and treated for minor injuries. They were later released. Investigators are providing limited descriptions of the suspects. They say the man who knocked on the couple's door is Hispanic, 35 to 40 years old. He was wearing a tan jacket, blue jeans, and black shoes. The other suspects had their faces covered, but officers say one is likely an Asian man who was wearing a long-sleeve shirt that was blue. The other, a white or Hispanic man, also wearing a long-sleeve shirt. Investigators are also asking anyone with information to call them at 448-4230. An 8-year-old boy from Sheboygan County is expected to make a full recovery after he was shocked by a power line. Malachi Blanke was playing on his front lawn around 8:30 Thursday night. Investigators say that's when a 64-year-old man, described as a family friend, lost control of his vehicle and collided with a power pole. The power lines then fell near the boy. Blanke had surgery yesterday morning at Children's Hospital of Wisconsin in Wauwatosa. Doctors say he is expected to be just fine. His grandmother said family members couldn't be more relieved.
Left arm is burned to 2nd and 3rd degree burns, and electricity came out on his right hip, so that's also burned. He's a strong little boy. Never cried. The whole time he never cried.
The driver was cited for drunken driving but released from jail because it was his first offense. Governor Scott Walker has some strong words regarding the tensions at a proposed mining site in Wisconsin's North Woods. Armed guards sent to the site have been pulled back because of permit issues. Gogabek Taconite claimed they put the masked guards in place because of threats of violence against its workers. The company is doing exploratory drilling along the Ashland-Iron County line. Opponents claim the mine would damage the environment. 2 state lawmakers asked for the guards to be removed because of the assault rifles the guards carried. Governor Walker's statement was critical of the protesters. He says they harassed and abused Gogabek Taconite workers. Walker calls the activists, quote, extremists, and says they should be prosecuted. One person does face a felony charge.
Now, here's your forecast first from Fox 11 meteorologist Doug Higgins.
Warm today, and then the heat is turned up high for the next couple of days after that. Big heat wave headed towards us. 85 will be our high today, partly sunny skies. On Sunday, a little more humid, a little warmer. 87 will be our high temperature. Remember the sunblock and keep plenty of water with you. And that's going to be the rule for, well, probably the next 5 days. Monday, 88 and partly sunny. Just plain hot and humid on Tuesday and Wednesday with highs near 90. Chance for rain comes into the forecast late Thursday and into Friday. But until then, with all that heat out there, you're going to need to water those plants, keep the grass green, and those flowers. You might want to remember those too.
Yeah, summer is definitely here, Doug, finally.
Yeah, going to be a warm one.
Yes, and another sign of summer, baseball. A player for the Green Bay Bullfrogs is becoming a shining star on and off the field.
And the Brewers are looking for a big win before the All-Star break. Can they pull it off? We'll have highlights in sports. You're watching Good Day Wisconsin.